We are live from Excess House at Achimota, Accra, Ghana. Welcome to this month's edition of Beyond the Pole, where we share inspiring stories that shape and transform our society. Let's take a look at the headlines. We highlight a fiscally challenged man in Ghana who has defied the odds to build strength and resilience. Ghana Institution of Engineering launches a 5-member ADR board to boost dispute resolution. For our international news, we feature the Ndabaga girls in Rwanda ahead of the World Cycling Championship. On Green Africa, we delve into okro farming in Ghana. We have these stories and more. Stay tuned. My name is Vanessa Vanderfoy. Thanks for staying tuned. Now to our first story. In a powerful testament to determination and creativity, a 60-year-old person with disability has turned his passion for craftsmanship into a source of livelihood and pride. Married with 3 kids, he skillfully weaves baskets, crafts chairs, and creates other beautiful handmade items, inspiring those around him with his strength and artistry.
My name is
Isaac Kwame Amoaten, and I was born and raised in Achim Sechere, where I grew up in a family of 12, my parents and 10 siblings. I completed my elementary education and finished Form 4 at Achim Sechere. I have lived with a disability since childhood. I was born able to walk like any other child, but my life changed after I turned 2. One day, my mother took me to the riverside. We reached a point where I couldn't cross, so she asked me to wait with my siblings while she continued. I refused to stay behind, crying and throwing myself on the ground, insisting on following her. When she returned to check on me, I tried to stand up to go with her, and that's when it happened. I couldn't stand, nor could I walk anymore. Just like that, I became paralyzed. Weaving and craftsmanship have always been a tradition in my hometown. From a young age, I would watch my older siblings weave baskets and chairs, and I would try to learn from them. However, when I moved to Accra, I didn't initially pursue it. Instead, I learned to sew, but I never truly found a passion for it. Later, I reconnected with some of my hometown colleagues who were working in the weaving business in Accra, and that's when I decided to dive into it seriously. Since then, I've been fully involved in the craft. I specialize in weaving baskets, chairs, and anything made from cane. If you can imagine it, I can design it for you. Just send me a picture of what you want, and I will bring it to life. I live with my wife, and together we have 3 children. My oldest son is 30 years old, so you can imagine how long we've been together. I'm passionate about sharing my craft, and I'm happy to teach anyone eager to learn. All you need is the right tools, materials, and a bit of cash for the project, and we can get started. The most important thing is your willingness to learn, and I will be there to guide you through it.
That was quite an inspiring story from Mr. Kwame Amoaten. Now to our next story. The Ghana Institution of Engineering has taken a significant step towards improving dispute resolution in the engineering sector. With the inauguration of a 5-member alternative dispute resolution board, this move aims to address challenges and promote efficient dispute resolution within the field of engineering in Ghana. Disputes are inherent in the engineering landscape, often stemming from contractual ambiguities, project delays, cost overruns, or disagreements over work quality. In Ghana, traditional litigation has proven cumbersome, with protracted court battles, stifling progress, and depleting resources. To address this, the Ghana Institute of Engineering has inaugurated its groundbreaking Alternative Dispute Resolution Initiative, offering a bespoke platform for engineers, contractors, and stakeholders to resolve disputes efficiently and fairly.
Government is into a lot of infrastructure projects, and engineers are those who get involved in these infrastructure projects. And usually with infrastructure projects, or any human endeavor, there are conflicts. This provides a resolution mechanism outside the normal litigation process.
Central to the inauguration was the swearing-in of a 5-member board composed of distinguished professionals in law, engineering, and governance.
The board members of Ghana Institute of Engineering Alternative Dispute Resolution Center.
We, the board members of the Ghana Institute of Engineering ADR Center,
Do solemnly swear and affirm that we will faithfully and diligently discharge our duties as board members.
Faithfully and diligently discharge our duties as board members.
Lawyer Asa Nkoma, a member of the board, highlighted the judiciary's role on the board, ensuring fair adjudication and avoiding conflicts.
Add to the growing strength and knowledge in the area of alternative dispute resolution in Ghana. We are seeing that the length of the normal court litigation and the time it takes and the expense is affecting a lot of work. And so having a place where engineering and construction, architectural contracts, if disputes arise, will be resolved outside the courts, either by arbitration or mediation or whichever alternative dispute resolution system the parties choose, will speeden things up and hopefully get disputes, if and when they arise, resolved very quickly so the parties can go back to their contract and what they contracted to do.
The GHIE president emphasized the need for an internal dispute resolution center to address long-standing issues in the engineering field.
The Ghana Institute of Engineering decided to set up an ADR center to help to manage disputes in our country and to the larger community in Africa. As engineers, we are involved in quite a number of projects, big projects, very costly projects, and there's disputes that arise in these projects. So setting up the center will help to manage these disputes, and that's why we've set it up.
Moving on, Africa is reshaping the global fashion narrative through Afro-contemporary designs that blend tradition with innovation. Leading the way is Joselyn Emmanuel, a visionary empowering women in rural communities through hand-woven African fabrics into custom and ready-to-wear pieces. African fashion is taking over the world, but have you taken a moment to think about the persons or the stories behind this African fashion revolution? Well, today we are going to be speaking to an inspirational woman who is not only a mother to her biological children, but also a mother to most women in the rural areas. Meet Madame Joselyn Emmanuel, who is a founder and a creative director of Belle Faso Boutique, right? So today we are going to dive into her story and how Belle Faso came about, right?
Yeah. I'm Joselyn Emmanuel, and I'm a fashion designer and entrepreneur. I'm born Rwandese, but I live here in Ghana. So I do ethical fashion, ethical sustainable fashion. I started in 2019, where I was living with my family in Burkina Faso. Okay. When I arrived in Burkina Faso, I remember it was hot. It gets hot, like 50 degrees. So by that time, I met with the women, Burkinabe women, who who weave fabrics, and also who recycle some bags. And I tried to ask them, for example, how they earn their living. And from their story, of which they shared me, because those women, they live in rural communities, they don't have education background, so it was very hard for them to make a living from what they were making. Then I took initiative of starting working with them, for example, giving them a platform of where I can expose of what they make. They are artists, like fabrics, bags, those kind of things. That's how I started. Then I moved to working with the women in the rural community as well in Rwanda, who makes some baskets. It's called Caesar baskets. You can use it to decorate in your house or put some things and on the table, those kind of things.
Joselyn shares how her experience growing up has shaped her dedication to empowering women.
When I visited these women in Burkina Faso who live in rural communities and who weave fabrics and who don't have education backgrounds, and when they shared with me their stories, I could feel it. I could feel their struggle, because myself, I was raised by a single mother who doesn't also have education background. So I know how it feels when you have certain skills, but you really don't know where to knock to be able to profit your skills, or to be able to benefit your skills, to be able to showcase your skills outside the world.
Joselyn now produces a wide range of Afro-contemporary fashion pieces like earrings, bangles, necklaces, and bespoke fashionable clothes, competing on the global market. She encourages Africans to accept their uniqueness with pride.
We as Africans, we need to support made local. Like that's our development, our industries, we go up to the points maybe in 10 years to come. We will not need outside. We will not depend on people. Rather, we will be building kind of independence, depending on ourselves.
In our international news, we cover the preparations by the Ndabaga girls in Rwanda ahead of the World Cycling Championship.
My name is Benjamin Lohman, and today with Vice Versa Global, I get the chance to go to the Ndabaga women's cycling team. So right now they are training in Rwanda, a city about an hour and a half outside of Kigali. And what's so special about their team is that they are very successful here in Rwanda. They have multiple riders who are going to be participating in the World Championships. So I'm going to speak with their coach and some of their riders and find out all about their secrets. The UCI World Road Championships are coming to Kigali. They are training very hard. As you can see, it's going at a blistering pace. It's hard to keep up. So we are gonna keep on following them and see what is up.
My main goal is to train well and become a great cyclist and compete in different races like world championships. As a female cyclist, training isn't always easy, especially during my period, but we've learned to push through and catch up fast.
Thank you so
much for welcoming us. But Ndabaga cycling team, how did it came to be? When did it start?
This team started 2 years ago. So before we used to help riders individually, to help them to develop them to be students athletes. So before that, we got a challenge of some cyclists who drop off schools. That's where the idea came of Ndabaga women's cycling team.
So women's cycling in Rwanda, it is growing. How do you experience that?
So for me to focus on women, because there was a very big gap between women and men.
Yeah.
There were very, very few women in cycling, and I was like, why not should I go deep in women and interest them and develop them. Yeah. To see if they can reach the level of the men's cycling level. So the secret is preparation, and the biggest secret I can say is to focus on few and give them everything possible.
My name is Nasi Rutimana Martha. I have been part of the Ndabaga cycling team for 4 years. Since I was young, I loved bicycles. Playing with my father's bike is how it all started. I always dreamed of being a cyclist, and my family supported me to chase that dream.
Here, the World Championship will be hosted in Rwanda. What do you think that means for cycling here in Rwanda?
So it's good for Rwanda and for Africa, because it's first time in Africa. So I think that's a good opportunity for African riders to showcase, to show what they're capable, to show other big teams in Europe, World Tour teams, so that they can see if they can start giving opportunities for African riders. Yeah. For women side, I think this is the big opportunity.
This concludes our international news. Up next is Green Africa with Nana Joaboni.
This morning craving for akpele and fetri dachi. Fetri dachi and akpele is basically a delicacy for Voltarians, Ewes for that matter. And one of the dominant ingredients for fetri dachi, which is a soup, is okro. Okro. So I visited ADR Board in Nsawam. And I'll be speaking to a 32-year-old gentleman who decided to shrink joining the military to become a farmer. Hello, Mr. Kingsley.
Yeah.
F1.
F1.
Hello, F1.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us about yourself. How did this begin for you?
Okay, my name is Kingsley Ametosusu, a 32-year-old guy. I attended school for quite, from primary GHS to secondary school. And after that, I decided to join the military. But unfortunately, I couldn't get a chance. So I made up my mind that it's not only military work or maybe the white job that you can do to become someone. So I know much more about farming. My parents are farmers that I know. We start farming from very young time, so I decided to then go into the farming in a different way and then in a large way too. So that's where I became a farmer.
Okay, so currently how many acres of land do you have?
Okay, for now I'm working on different land, but the one that we are sitting on now here is 8 acres land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now let's address the elephant in the room. I realized that you have a vast land of okro. I know you grow other things, but okro is more dominant on the farm. Why did you decide to venture into okro farming and do it on a large scale?
Okay. The issue is that the reason why I like farming, doing okro farming is okro is something that if you do it well, I give a name to it that Akwalabeko school. Meaning children go to school, it's every 3 days you do harvest, you get something. Other crops like let me say cassava and maize and those things are being harvested only once. But okro, you harvest today, the following day is over, the next day you need to harvest. So it's every 3 days, at least you get something. Every 3 days you get something. So it normally helps to, I would say, provide for the family and then do some certain supports. That's why I choose to do okro more.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay. How long does an okro plant take to complete a full cycle?
Like bearing fruits?
Yes.
It depends on the variety of okro that you grow.
From planting to harvesting.
It depends on the variety that you grow.
Okay.
There are some that they used to call it, how is the name? This one is a sebejo.
Okay.
It's a seed that I selected it from my own seed that I grew. I grew an okra of 4 acres and I noticed this one. So I selected it down, I didn't harvest it. So I dry it, then I started taking the seed. So that's what I used to expand my okra family more, this one. And this one is called Contemplantem, as they used to call it. That's the local okra that everybody knows on the market.
Okay.
Some people too call it, how do they call it? Badavi.
Madavi?
So, Badavi.
Badavi?
Yes, it has a lot of different names. There are another one, that one is in the bush there. The one they call it Ewe okro. It's very short. It has a lines like this, but the okro itself is very short like this. They call it, they call it, how do you call it? Votarians okro. It's very short.
Okay.
And there is another one
I'll get
called
into
pencil. The pencil, some is on here. It normally seems something like this. The okra is somehow lean, very small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like this, but
it's
taller.
very lean. Yeah, it's not big.
A bit longer.
Yeah, it's something tiny, but it's very long like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So usually, how long would it take?
So this one,
For
if you grow, it will take 2 months, 1 week, then you start harvesting.
2 months, 1 week. I'm very interested in the names, how we even name our crop varieties. What goes into that selection? The name selection, what goes into it? What is the history behind Badavi? Like, what is the history behind that?
Okay, for this one, as I told you that I call it, in my language, they used to call it esebejo. The reason is that it looked like a horn of a deer. You see the animal that we call deer. If you've noticed the horn before, it's very narrow. So that's how the okra shape to look like. That's how they used to call it.
Okay.
That's what they call it, esebejo. So me, an old man who told me that this okra was previously grown at the Futa side. So that's why they name it esebejo.
Okay.
And then this one that you are asking, this one they call it Contemplantem, means the harvesting is very quick. Instead of it to you're supposed to bear fruit at least maybe one every day, or let me say 2 days. No, it can bear fruit about 2 or 3 within a day. You can see 2 or 3 flowers on 1 stick a day like this.
Oh, interesting.
So it need to come quick, then it go back quick. So you harvest it quick, then it will die very early. It doesn't stay much long time before.
Okay. It doesn't stay long on the market?
No, on the farm for it to die.
Farm. Okay.
There's the harvesting system. No, within short time, you need to die.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is the pest resistance like for each variety?
The pests.
Yes.
The pests that affect this affect all of them.
Okay. So you don't have one specific one that
maybe affecting this and then leaving the other.
Yes.
No, every okra, the pest is pest. It will affect all the okra. There's no.
And it doesn't have resistance to it.
No.
What kind of pest affects this ones?
Plenty of different pests. We have the armyworms. That is the insects. The armyworms. We have some white flies, and then some maggots, and they are different type of pests.
Okay.
And what called insect, and that they used to cause damage to the okra. And then if we come to this parasite or the pest that you're talking about, the weather to normally affects.
Climate change.
Climate change. When the weather is too cold, like let me say past 2 months ago, the weather change looking cloudy every day, it normally affects okra. But when the sun shines more, then it rains more. That is what boosts the okra to grow well.
Lucrative is okra farming. For young people out there to say, okay, I think there's a lot of money here. Let me venture into it. Please tell us the other street.
Okra farming, there is 2 things. It depends on the demand and the supply. If God helps you and you meet the correct demand, you will smile. That one, there's seriously use. If you have even, let me say, an acre of okra and everything go well for you, before at the end of the period that you harvest everything and say now your okra is over, you can get more than 70 to 100,000, 1 acre.
Oh.
Because every 3 days you go in, you harvest. Every 3 days you go in, you harvest. Even look at this. Yesterday that you harvest, but look at how good they are. You can even sell this one to the people who buy it. So every 3 days you harvest. We harvest yesterday, Tomorrow we are coming to harvest. The following 3 days, which will be somewhere, let me see, Friday, harvest will go on.
How much do you sell a bag?
That's why I was saying it depends on the market level.
Okay.
When the demand is high and the supply is less, one bag, you can sell one bag even 1,000, 2,000, not even less than 500 or 600.
Okay.
But when the supply is high and the demand is low, that one to go against you, the farmer.
Okay.
But yes, still, if you're able to maintain the farm well, you not incur costs. You break even, at least you get something small for some corner.
I think guys are making money. I know okro's best friend is maize, right?
Yes. They all move hand in hand.
Yeah.
When maize get dry, the time maize get dry and they harvesting dry maize, that's where okro to price normally comes in more. Because the consumption of maize is based on okro.
This has been a very exciting conversation with Kingsley, aka the Sakawa farmer. I am Nsawam, and this has been Green Africa. Unfortunately, this is all for this edition. I'll see you in the upcoming ones. Bye!
Thank you, Nsawam. Well, this wraps up the month's edition of Beyond the Pole, broadcast from Access House Studios in Achimota, Ghana. Don't forget to support the Unsung Heroine Initiative. To donate, please contact us at the numbers on your screen. My name is Vanessa Vanderpoy, and this is Vice Versa Media, Ghana.